Fears are nothing more than a state of mind. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Fear. It's the most ancient, primal force that has shackled humanity since the beginning of time. It whispers in your ear every day, reminding you of what could go wrong, of what you're not capable of what others think. It holds you back, paralyzes your ambitions, and steals the power you were born with. You've felt it, haven't you? The knot in your stomach when opportunity knocks, the hesitation that makes you doubt your worth, the voice that says, "You're not enough." But what if I told you that fear is not the enemy? What if I told you that fear is the greatest illusion, a creation of your mind, and that you, yes, you, can break free from it? You were not born to live in fear. You were not born to shrink from greatness. You were born to rise, to conquer, to create, to live a life of unimaginable potential. And I'm here to show you the path. This is not just a motivational speech. This is a call to arms. This is the moment you stop letting fear control your life and step into your true power. This is Napoleon Hill's fear-breaking strategy, a timeless blueprint that has empowered the greatest achievers of all time: Edison, Carnegie, Ford, Disney. Men who, like you, faced fears, but unlike most, they chose to face them head-on, break them down, and make them fuel for success. Now it's your turn. The first step: recognizing the illusion of fear. Let's start with this. Fear is not real. It's an illusion, a shadow created by your mind. It's not tangible. It's not physical. It cannot touch you. And yet, it has the power to control you, to stop you in your tracks, to prevent you from moving forward. But why? Because fear is a reaction to something that doesn't even exist. It's the mind's projection of what might happen, not what is happening. That's the first thing you need to understand. Fear is based on the future, not the present. And in this present moment, you are fine. In this moment, you are alive, you are capable, and you are powerful. Napoleon Hill spoke of this in his timeless work, Think and Grow Rich, where he discussed the 6 basic fears: fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of loss of love, fear of old age, and fear of death. These fears all stem from one thing: the unknown. And the unknown is nothing more than your own thoughts running wild, creating stories of doom and failure that are not based on reality. You have a choice. The fear of failure can either control you or you can control it. Every great person in history made a choice, the same choice you must make today, to see fear for what it truly is: a phantom, a shadow, a figment of your imagination that has no hold over you unless you let it. The second step: replacing fear with unshakable belief. The key to breaking free from fear is belief. Not just any belief, unshakable, unwavering belief in your ability to overcome any obstacle, to create any outcome you desire. You are capable of far more than you give yourself credit for. The reason fear holds you back is because, at some level, you doubt your own power. You doubt that you have the strength to face the challenges ahead. You doubt that you have the courage to take risks, to fail, to try again. But think about this. The greatest minds in history, Edison, Lincoln, Ford, all faced tremendous adversity. They all faced moments where fear could have crushed them, but they didn't succumb. They didn't quit. They kept going. Why? Because they knew one thing. They believed in their purpose. When you replace fear with belief, when you tell yourself that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but a step on the path to success, fear loses its grip. It's like a muscle that weakens with every rep. The more you build your belief, the less space fear has in your life. Think of a moment in your life when you accomplished something despite fear. Maybe it was a decision to speak in front of an audience, to start a new business, to make a bold choice that terrified you. Yet you did it. Why? Because you believed, even if just for a moment, that you could. That's the key. That's the foundation for greatness. The third step, clarity, the power of vision. You cannot defeat fear without clarity. You must have a vision so clear, so compelling, that fear no longer stands a chance. When you know exactly what you want, when you can see the outcome in vivid detail, fear becomes irrelevant. Imagine this. You're in the midst of a storm. The winds are howling, the waves are crashing, and it feels like the world is against you. Now, imagine that in the distance you see the shore. You see your destination. And even though the storm rages, even though the winds try to throw you off course, you keep rowing because you know where you're going. That's clarity. That's vision. And when you have it, fear is nothing more than a temporary obstacle. It's the storm you pass through to reach your destination. Napoleon Hill said, "What the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve." This means that the more vividly you can imagine your success, the more unstoppable you will become. Fear cannot stand in the presence of clarity, because when you know exactly where you're headed, fear becomes irrelevant. It has no power over a mind focused on its purpose. The fourth step, taking action, the courage to move forward. Fear thrives in hesitation. It thrives in procrastination, in the moments when you stand still, paralyzed by the what-ifs of life. But here's the truth. Action is the antidote to fear. The moment you take a step forward, fear begins to lose its power over you. Remember, every great achiever in history took action despite fear. Edison didn't wait for the perfect moment to invent the light bulb. Ford didn't wait until he was certain the world was ready for the automobile. They acted. They took imperfect action. And that's what you must do. This doesn't mean you won't be scared. It doesn't mean you won't have doubts. But what it does mean is that you will act anyway. You will push through the fear. And with every step, you will grow stronger. Every action you take builds your resilience, your courage, your belief. Napoleon Hill said, "Action is the real measure of intelligence." It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about acting in spite of fear. It's about showing up, even when you're not sure of the outcome. It's about taking that first step, and then the next, and the next, until fear is nothing but a distant memory. The fifth step, gratitude, reprogramming your mind. You might be thinking, how can gratitude help me with fear? Here's the thing. Gratitude is the highest frequency of energy you can operate in. When you shift your focus from fear to gratitude, you reprogram your mind. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, you focus on what's going right. Gratitude grounds you. It connects you to your purpose and reminds you of all the reasons you have to succeed. It helps you see that you are not alone. You are surrounded by abundance, by opportunities, by the gifts that life has given you. When fear arises, counter it with gratitude. Look at your life and say, "I am thankful for this moment. I am thankful for the lessons fear is teaching me. I am thankful for the strength I'm building." This shifts your energy. It shifts your mindset. And when your mindset changes, fear loses its grip. The sixth step, resilience, embracing setbacks as lessons. Finally, understand this. Fear is not something you get rid of forever. It's not a one-time battle that you win and never face again. Fear is a companion that will always try to hold you back. But your resilience, your ability to keep going despite setbacks, will determine your success. Greatness is not about avoiding fear. It's about continuing to move forward in spite of it. It's about getting back up every time you fall. It's about understanding that failure is a part of the process, not the end of the journey. Hill often spoke of the power of persistence. Victory is always possible for the person who refuses to stop fighting, he said. And that's the key. No matter how many times fear knocks you down, you must stand back up. Fear is not your enemy. It is the voice that tells you what you could accomplish if only you had the courage to try. And today, you have the courage. Today, you break free from the chains of fear. Today, you choose to live a life of purpose, belief, clarity, action, and gratitude. Remember this: you were not born to live in fear. You were born to rise. You were born to create, to conquer, to live without limits. And now you know the way. Take the first step and never look back.